Hello, in this lecture we will find the value of 2 times AP, or the size of 2 times AP. In the picture we have a triangle ABC, side AB of the triangle is 90 units, side AC of the triangle is 70 units, and the side BC of triangle ABC equals to 50 units. We also have a circle. Point P is the center of this circle, and also point P is situated on side AB of the triangle, and also side AC of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point, we will call that point O. Again, side AC of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point O, or the touching point between side AC of the triangle and the circle is at point O, and also side CB of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point, we will call that point E. Again, side CB of the triangle is tangent to the circle at point E, or the touching point between side CB of the triangle and the circle is at point E. So we have two tangents to this circle, side AC and side BC of the triangle are tangents to this circle, and in the next step we will connect points P and O together by a straight line. So actually OP or PO is the radius of this circle. I will call it R, abbreviation for radius. And the reason that the straight line OP is the radius of this circle, because its exit, the line OP exit from the center of this circle, that is to say from point P, and ends at a point O, that is a point on the circle. For that reason, OP is the radius of this circle, and in the same way we will connect points P and E together by a straight line. And actually EP or PE is also the radius of this circle. I will call it R for the same reason, because the straight line PE exits from point P, the center of this circle, and ends at point E, that is a point on the circle. So whenever when you have a straight line that exits from a center of a circle and ends at any point at the circle, then this line is defined the radius of a circle. So we have actually two radiuses of the circle, radius PO and radius PE, and actually we have a rule that in any circle a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. Okay, again, I repeat, in any circle, a radius and the tangent to this radius are perpendicular to each other. That is to say, the radius PO is perpendicular to the tangent AC. That is to say, POA equals to 90 degrees, angle POA equals to 90 degrees, and also angle POC equals to 90 degrees, because PO is perpendicular to AC. So according to our rule, in any circle a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. And in the same way we can say that the radius PE is perpendicular to CB, that is the tangent to the radius. That is to say, angle PEC equals to 90 degrees, and also angle PEB equals to 90 degrees. So I will write down the rule. I will call it rule number 1. So rule number 1 states that in any circle a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. I will read again rule number 1. Rule number 1 states that in any circle a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. So if we have a radius, let's call it R, and the tangent to that radius, let's call it T, then R is perpendicular to T. That is to say, this angle equals to 90 degrees and this angle also equals to 90 degrees. So in any circle, a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so for that reason, angle POA equals to 90 degrees and also angle POC equals to 90 degrees, because the radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. So this angle is 90 degrees and this angle is also 90 degrees. For the same reason, we have a radius and the tangent to that radius. So according to rule number 1 that I have mentioned, uh, 1 minute ago, the radius is perpendicular to the tangent to the radius. That is to say, this angle is 90 degrees and this angle is also 90 degrees. Okay, it's correct for any circle. The radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so we created here two right triangles because triangle AOP is a right triangle because of the fact that angle POA is 90 degrees, and also triangle PEB is a right triangle because of the fact that angle PEB equals to 90 degrees. Okay, so in the next step we will draw perpendicular from point C to side AB of the triangle. We will call to the touching point between the perpendicular and side AB of the triangle capital M. So CM is perpendicular to side AB of the triangle. For that reason, angle CMB equals to 90 degrees, and also angle CMA equals to 90 degrees. Okay. In the next step, we will define angle CAB as alpha, angle CAB or angle CAP equals to alpha, and we will also define angle CBA as beta. Angle CBA or CBP equals to beta. And we also will define AP as x, AP equals to x, and actually PB will be equal to AB minus AP, because it is AB minus AP. That is to say, it is equals to 90 because AB equals to 90 minus the size of AP, that is x. So it is 90 minus x. So PB equals to 90 minus x. And then we will focus on alpha and sinus alpha, and we will also focus on the right triangle AOP. We will also focus on the right triangle ACM. So in the right triangle AOP, actually sinus alpha will be equal to the ratio between the side of the triangle that is in front of angle alpha, that is to say OP, because side OP in triangle AOP is in front of angle alpha, divided by the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP. And the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP is actually AP. So sinus alpha in triangle AOP equals to OP over AP. And the reason that AP is the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP, because actually AP is perpendicular to OP. So sides AO and OP are the perpendiculars of the right triangle AOP. So the third side AP must be the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP. Okay? Because always in a right triangle the hypotenuse is the side that didn't make 90 degrees for the other side. Okay, so because of the fact that side AO makes 90 degrees with side OP, they are defined as the perpendiculars of the right triangle AOP, and AP is actually the hypotenuse of the right triangle AOP. Okay, so now we will focus on the right triangle ACM. In the right triangle ACM, sinus alpha equals to the side that is in front of angle alpha, that is to say CM. Again, CM is in front of angle alpha, so it is CM over the hypotenuse of the right triangle ACM, and the hypotenuse of the right triangle ACM is actually equals to AC, because as I already mentioned, AM and CM are the perpendiculars of the triangle ACM, because they make 90 degrees in this point in their interactions. They make 90 degrees, so what is left, that AC must be the hypotenuse of the right triangle ACM. Okay, so in total we got that sinus alpha equals to OA over AP, that equals to CM over AC. Now we will copy this equality and we will call it equation 1. Okay, so equation 1 will be OP over AP equals to CM over AC. Okay, I copied this equality here and I call it this equality equation 1. Okay, I copied this equality here and I called it equation 1, but we know actually that OP equals to R, is the radius of the circle. So I write down that OP equals to R. And also we know that AP equals to X according to our definition. Okay, AP equals to X. And also we know that AC equals to 70 units according AC equals to 70 units according the data that is given in the question itself. AC equals to 70 units, so I write it down. So now we can put the data in equation 1. Okay. So here I substituted OP by R because OP equals to R. And I also substituted AP by X because AP equals to X. And I substituted AC by 70 because AC equals to 70. Okay, so here we can divide both sides of the equation by CM, and it is allowable to divide both sides of the equation by CM because CM is the perpendicular to side AB of the triangle, so it must be a positive number, it can never be zero, so it is allowable to divide the equation by CM. So we divided both sides of the equation by CM. We got that R over X divided by CM equals to R over CM times X. And in this side of the equation, CM divided by CM equals to 1. So in total we have 1 over 70. Because CM is cancelled from the equation because we have CM both in the numerator and in the denominator, so CM divided by CM equals to 1. So we left with only 1 over 70. In the next step we will multiply both sides of the equation by X. Again, it is allowable because X equals to AP, it is a positive number, it can never be 0, so it is allowable to multiply the equation by X. So after we multiplied both sides of the equation by X, we got that actually X divided by X equals to 1, so X is cancelled. After we multiplied both sides of the equation by X, we have here X divided by X equals to 1, so X is cancelled, when we left only with R over CM. And here we multiplied both sides of the equation by X, okay, so it is actually, okay, and here we have X times 1 over 70 equals to X over 70. Okay, so we have the expression for R over CM that from equation 1 that R over CM equals to X over 70. Okay, in the next step we will focus on beta and on sinus beta, and we also will focus on the right triangle EPB. And we also will focus on the right triangle CMB. So in the right triangle EPB, sinus beta will be equal to the side that is in front of angle beta, that is to say PE, divided by the hypotenuse of the right triangle PEB, that is actually PB. Again, PB is the hypotenuse because actually side PE is perpendicular to side EB, so sides PE and EB are the perpendiculars of the right triangle PEB, and actually PB must be the hypotenuse of the right triangle PEB. Okay, and then we will focus on the right triangle CMB. In this right triangle, sinus beta equals to the angle that is in front. Sinus beta is equal to the side that is in front of angle beta, and the side that is in front of angle beta in the right triangle CMB is actually CM divided by the hypotenuse of the right triangle CMB, and the hypotenuse is CB. Again, the hypotenuse is CB because actually side CM is perpendicular to side MB. So CM and MB are the perpendiculars of the right triangle CMB. So CB must be the hypotenuse of the right triangle CMB. So in total we got that sinus beta equals to PE over PB, that equals to CM over CB. Again, we will copy this equality and we will call it equation number 2. So actually we copied this equality and we called it equation number 2. But we know that PE equals to R, the radius of the circle, so I write it down. And we also know that PB equals to 90 minus x because it is actually AP minus AP, and AB is 90 and AP is x, so PB equals to 90 minus x. And also we know that CB equals to 50 units because it is given us in the question. So I write that CB equals to 90 units. Now we will put the data in equation 1 and we will get that actually so we actually put the data in equation 1. I substituted PE by R because PE equals to R. I substituted PB by 90 minus 6 because PB equals to 90 minus 6. And I left CM as it is. And I substituted CB by 50 because CB equals to 50. Okay, here we will divide both sides of the equation by CM. So we divided both sides of the equation by cm. We got that r over 90 minus 6 divided by cm equals to r over cm times 90 minus 6, and cm over 50 divided by cm equals to 1 over 50, because cm divided by cm equals to 1. Okay? Here we will multiply both sides of the equation by 90 minus 6. And it is allowable to multiply both sides of the equation by 90 minus 6 because x, that is AP, is less than 90. So 90 minus 6 will be a positive number, it can never be 0, so it is allowable to multiply the equation by 90 minus 6. We will get that I repeat again, we will multiply both sides of the equation by 90 minus 6. So we multiply both sides of the equation by 90 minus 6. So here 90 minus 6 divided by 90 minus 6 is 1, so 90 minus 6 is cancelled from this side of the equation. So we left only with r over cm. And 1 over 50 times 90 minus 6 equals to 90 minus 6 over 50. So actually we got the expression for r over cm from the second equation, but according to the first equation, r over cm equals to x over 70. So I will write it down. So we have here two expressions for r over cm. From the second equation, we know that r over cm equals to 90 minus 6 over 50, and from the first equation, We know that r over cm equals to x over 70. Now we will create the further equation that r over cm equals to r over cm. Okay. Okay. We have the equation that r over cm equals to r over cm. In the next step, we will substitute the value of r over cm this side of the equation by x over 70, and then we will substitute the value of we'll substitute r over cm this side of the equation by the value of r over cm in the second equation. Okay. I repeat again. Here actually we substituted the value, we substituted r over cm by the value of r over cm in the first equation, that is to say x over. Okay. Repeat again. We substituted the value of r over c. We substituted r over cm by the value of r over cm in the first equation, that is to say x over 70, and in this side of the equation we substituted r over cm by the value of r over cm in the second equation. Okay. That is to say 90 minus 6 over 50. Okay, here we'll multiply both sides of the equation by 50. So we multiplied both sides of the equation by 50, so 50 times x over 70 equals to 50 times 6 over 70, and 90 minus 6 divided by 50 times 50 equals to 90 minus 6, 50 is cancelled. Okay, here we will multiply both sides of the equation by 70. So we multiply both sides of the equation by 50. 50 times x times 70 divided by 70 equals to 50x, because 70 divided by 70 equals to 1, 70 is cancelled, and 90 minus 6 times 70 equals to 70 times 90 minus 6. Here we will divide both sides of the equation by 10. So 50x divided by 10 equals to 5x, and 70 times 90 minus 6 divided by 10 equals to 7, or here 50 divided by 10 equals to 5, and here 70 divided by 10 equals to 7. Okay, now we will open the brackets in this side of the equation. So we open the brackets in this side of the equation. 7 times 90 equals to 630, and 7 times minus 6 equals to minus 7x. Here we will add 7x to both sides of the equation. So we added 7x to both sides of the equation. 5x plus 7x equals to 12x, and 630 minus 7x plus 7x equals to 630. Here we will divide both sides of the equation by 6. So we divided both sides of the equation by 6, and 12x divided by 6 equals to 2x, and 630 divided by 6 equals to 105. But we also know that according to our definition, AP equals 2x. Okay, so we will create the fourth equation that states that AP equals 2x. But if AP equals 2x, then 2 times AP equals to 2 times 6. Okay. So we got from one side that from equation 3 that 2 times 6 equals to 105. But from the fourth equation we know that 2 times 6 equals to 2 times AP. So we'll create the fifth equation that combines equation 3 and 4 together. So here 2 times 6 equals to 105. This is from the third equation, and from the fourth equation we know that 2 times 6 equals to 2 times AP, so we can add that 2 times 6 also equals to 2 times AP. Okay, so at the end we got that the equality that 2 times AP equals to 105 units. So actually the answer to our question is that 2 times AP equals to 105 and 5 units. Okay, the answer to the question is that 2 times AP equals to 105 units, or the value of 2 times AP equals to 105 units, so the size of 2 times AP actually equals to 105 units. Okay, now I will summarize the lecture. Actually, we wanted to find the value of 2 times AP or the size of 2 times AP. We have triangle ABC. Side AB of triangle ABC equals to 90 units, side AC of the triangle equals to 70 units, and side CB equals to 50 units. And also we have a circle. The center of the circle is P. P is situated on point P P is situated on side AB of the triangle. And also we know that side AC is tangent to the circle at point O, and side CB of triangle ABC is tangent to the circle at point P. And we draw 2 radiuses to this circle. And we actually have a rule that states that in any circle, a radius and the tangent to that radius are perpendicular to each other. So if we have a radius and the tangent to that radius R is perpendicular to the tangent of the radius, that is to say this angle is 90 degrees and also this angle is 90 degrees. So we can implement rule number 1 in our circle, because we have here radius and the tangent to that radius. So according to rule number 1, they are perpendicular to each other. That is to say angle POA equals to 90 degrees and also angle POC equals to 90 degrees. And for the same reason, the radius PE is perpendicular to the tangent CB. That is to say angle PEC equals to 90 degrees and also angle PEB equals to 90 degrees. And then we draw perpendicular to side AB of the triangle, and the touching point between the perpendicular to side AB of the triangle is point M, or we can say that CM is perpendicular to side AB of the triangle. That is to say angle CMB equals to 90 degrees and also angle CMA equals to 90 degrees. And we defined angle CAB as alpha and angle CBA as beta. And we know that sinus alpha in triangle AOP equals to OP over AP, while sinus alpha in the right triangle ACM equals to CM over AC. So in total we got that sinus alpha equals to OP over AP, that equals to CM over AC. We created from this equality equation number 1, and we put the data that OP equals to R, AP equals to X, and AC equals to 70 units in equation number 1, and we got the equality that R over CM equals to X over 70. Then we did the same thing about angle beta. We know that actually sinus beta equals to PE over PB, for one side, but also sinus beta if relate to, so that is if we relate to triangle PEB. But if we relate to triangle CMB, then sinus beta equals to CM over CB. So in total we got that sinus beta equals to PE over PB, that equals to CM over CB. So we copied this equality to question number 2. And we know that P equals to R, PB equals to 90 minus 6, and CB equals to 50. So we put the data in question number 1. We got that R over CM equals to 90 minus 6 over 50. But we know that from equation number 1 that R over CM equals to X over 70. So we can create the first equation that R over CM equals to R over CM, and we put the value of R over CM in this side of the equation. We substitute R over CM by the value of R over CM in the first equation, that is to say X over 70, and then we substitute the value of R over CM by the value of R over CM in the second equation, that is to say 90 minus 6 over 50. So in total we got X over CM, the value of R over CM in the first equation, equals to 90 minus 6 over 50, the value of R over CM in the second equation. Okay, and then in the end we got that 2 times 6 equals to 105 for one side, but we defined AP as X. Okay, so if AP equals to X, then 2 times AP equals to 2 times 6. So we have equation 3 that states that 2 times 6 equals to 105. And we have also the fourth equation that states that 2 times AP equals to 2 times 6 equals to 2 times AP. So we can combine equation 3 and 4 together and say that the value of 2 times x equals to 105, but this is from the third equation. But for the fourth equation we also know that 2 times x equals to 2 times AP. Okay, so we combine the equation 3 and 4 together in the fifth equation. And at the end we got the equality that 2 times AP equals to 105 units. Okay, so this is the answer to our question, that 2 times AP equals to 105 units, so the value of 2 times AP equals to 105 units. Okay, thank you very much.